Okay, I think you're connected now. Vice Mayor Enander, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. We can hear you and see you. Thank you.
Hey, Andrea, let's see.
We're ready.
Gallery view. I'm ready when you are, Andrea.
I'm ready.
Oh, great. Good evening, everybody. I will call the Los Altos City Council special reorganization meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. Welcome and thanks for joining us. City Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Councilmember Liang,
Here.
Councilmember Meadows,
Here.
Councilmember Weinberg,
Here.
Vice Mayor Enander,
Here.
and Mayor Flagger.
Here.
Thank you. All 5 council members are present.
Thank you. Next, we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. And we have a very special group of Girl Scouts who will lead us in the pledge. And after they're done, I'll have them introduce themselves. But I'll ask everybody to please go on mute so that they can lead us and of course join them. So with that, I will turn it over to our Girl Scouts.
Please stand if you are able to for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wonderful, great job. Thank you so much for doing this for us. I know on short notice. So who wants to get us started? Could you please say your name?
Anya, did you want to go first?
My name is
So Sharon, I can't hear them.
Okay, the first one is Anya.
Hi, Anya.
My name is Natalie.
Hi, Natalie.
My name is Emily.
Hi, Emily.
My name is Anisha.
Hi, Anisha.
My name is Maya.
I didn't catch that last name.
My name is Maya.
Ah, Maya. Hi, Maya. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. You did an excellent job. So thank you and well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sharon.
All right.
We'll keep going. Next on our agenda, we have the consent calendar. And I know this is a little unusual since it's a special meeting and we're really here to do the reorg of our city council, but we needed to do this emergency declaration resolution. And so we added it as a consent calendar item. For those listening in who would like to share a comment on item 2, we will do that after we introduce item 2. So if you could just wait a couple more minutes. I know a lot of our public speakers are eager to comment on item 2. So thank you for joining. So with that, if no council member would like to remove an item or the item from the consent calendar, I will entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I'll move this consent calendar item, Mayor.
Thank you. The Vice Mayor has made the motion. Who will second it?
Second.
Councilmember Liang raised her virtual hand, but I'll go ahead and have Councilmember Weinberg as the seconder of the motion. City Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Mayor Flagger,
Yes.
Councilmember Meadows,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Enander,
Yes.
Councilmember Weinberg,
Yes.
Councilmember Lee Ying.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, City Clerk. Thank you so much. Next, we will move to the special item, item number 2, which is our council reorganization. And we will open it up for public comment. So at this time, if you would like to make a comment, please raise your virtual hand. And of course, we will start with our elected officials who are joining us this evening. I see Supervisor Simidian is with us. Very happy to see you, Supervisor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And if I can just step in and first congratulate you on a really productive year. Lots of opportunity for our county and your city to work together. And I think the range of issues on which we have worked together tells the story. Everything from transportation, hyperlocal in terms of bicycle access on Foothill, which was an ongoing topic of conversation. Ultimately, I think we got to a very good place. And then all the way out to the Measure B funding allocations at the VTA this year, where the city had a vested interest in making sure that those dollars were spent appropriately. But of course, housing, the Distel Circle property that we've been in conversation with you and your colleagues in the city about, and of course, healthcare, COVID. And, you know, for those who wonder just how fully a local mayor stays involved and engaged, literally earlier today, we were still working through details of an announcement on what we call a pop-up COVID site for booster shots and for vaccination in Los Altos. So thank you to you and your colleagues and the city for cooperating and collaborating. But I just really want to say thank you and congratulations. And I want to just take a moment to say, I know that you sometimes have challenging moments in the city of Los Altos. And I'm going to tell you, in my experience, it's because people just care so darn much. And truly, there are worse things than having a community full of people who care enough to raise their voices and share their point of view. So good for you. And I'm sure in the moment, it sometimes seems a bit of a challenge, but I think it speaks volumes about just how much folks care about the quality of life in the community and how real that concern is. And then I won't anticipate too much the upcoming mayoral and vice mayoral elections, but congratulations to those who will be stepping into those 2 new roles. I look forward to working with you in these new roles as we've had a chance to work together as colleagues in local government and regional government over these last few years together. It really is a marvelous opportunity to step up and do a little bit more, leave your imprint. And I'm looking forward to being a helpful colleague, I hope, and a resource as well. So congratulations to you all. And thanks for letting me be a little part of your evening tonight.
Thank you, Supervisor Simidian, and thanks for your continued partnership.
Thank you.
So next, I think we have Carrie Templeton, who is with State Senator Becker's office. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Mayor Flieger and council members. I just wanted to say that Senator Becker wishes he could be here tonight and congratulate you on a wonderful year, Mayor Flieger. And he enjoyed working with all of you, and the special event that comes to his mind that he wanted to acknowledge was opening the community center and being there for that special moment to share with Los Altos. Again, who wants to follow Senator Simidian? But I would say that congratulations to whoever ends up stepping into the leadership roles. I know that takes a lot of effort, a lot of extra time, and the community really appreciates everything you all put in to leading this city. So thank you very much, and congratulations to whoever is next, and congratulations again to Mayor Flieger. Thank you.
Thanks, Carrie, and please give my regards to State Senator Becker. Okay, I don't see any more hands. Attendees, this is your opportunity to share any comments. Okay, I don't see any hands, so we will continue with the agenda. Next, we will have my remarks as the outgoing mayor. I'm laughing because earlier today when I was talking with John Maginot, he asked if he should set the clock for 30 seconds for my remarks. And so we all got a good laugh from that. So let me start off by saying what an honor it has been to serve as your mayor this last year. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. So great to see so many of you. And of course, thanks again to Supervisor Simidian and State Senator Becker's office, Kerry Templeton, for calling in and sharing their comments, and congratulations. In preparing my remarks, I looked for a quote that would capture my year as mayor, and I found a few. But the one that I really thought applied to several of the things we did this year is a quote about facing challenges. If you run into a wall, don't turn around and give up. Figure out how to climb it, go through it, or work around it. And I think as a council, we did a lot of that this year. As a community, we faced different challenges, and we never ran away from these challenges, and we definitely didn't kick the can down the road. Instead, we faced them each time and worked through the issue, even if it took several meetings and late meetings to get to a resolution. As a result, we were able to accomplish some wonderful things for our community. Let me start with the opening of the new Los Altos Community Center. I still remember my first council retreat in 2019, when I realized that although most of the heavy lifting for the community center had been done by the previous council, the community center was still not a done deal, and we would have to continue to stay focused on getting it across the finish line. This year alone, we had questions related to the budget, the impact of COVID-19, and other delays. But we did not give up on moving forward with the new community center, and we did it. I was honored to cut the ribbon along with my fellow council members and deliver the remarks as mayor at the community center opening in October. Another accomplishment worth highlighting is, and many have described our process of selecting a new city manager as successful, smooth, and seamless. Only weeks before I was scheduled to be sworn in as mayor, our former city manager resigned, and I knew we would need to find a new city manager my year as mayor. The council quickly appointed John Maginot as our acting city manager, and we launched a search for an interim city manager. We then hired Brad Kilger as our interim city manager, and then quickly launched another search for a permanent city manager. As mayor, I had the privilege of working very closely with each of them. John Maginot, as you know, is a star. And I attribute a lot of the success in this process to John being the constant and always willing to help and guide and lend a hand wherever needed. Thank you, John. Brad, not sure if you're listening in and I know you may watch the recording, but you were able to hit the ground running and keep us going. I would joke with Brad that he must have studied Los Altos before coming here, because within weeks of being here, he already understood our community so well. Brad and I worked through managing some of our challenges, and I could not imagine doing it without him. So thank you, Brad. Then we hired Gabe, who has been on the job for about 4 months, and council unanimously selected him. It was a 5-0 vote. I want to say that it was unanimous. And I joke with Gabe all the time that he has already earned his signing bonus. And I'm joking, there was no signing bonus in case anybody's wondering. We knew when we hired him that he had a deep understanding and appreciation of city government and municipal finances. But we didn't realize how much he enjoyed working on budgets and finances. He and our new finance director have already started an in-depth review of our budget so that we can have clarity and are able to streamline and improve our financial processes. This to me is a two-for accomplishment. We hired a new city manager and we're starting to do the work of getting our financial house in order. Happy to have you, Gabe. In addition to the community center and the new city manager, we accomplished many other things for the city. In no particular order, we approved safe firearm storage ordinance, adopted the Cut the Commute resolution, reached a 95% vaccination rate for residents 12 and older, managed and adopted a resolution that helped to de-escalate a situation involving a resident and a council member, resolved some of the litigation involving the city, started a city summer intern program, adopted a pilot off-leash dog hours program, completed the community engagement outreach for 330 Distal Circle, or first ever 100% affordable housing project. And I look forward to the study session that's currently scheduled for January. We approved support for the exploration of a formal pathway trail connection between Redwood Grove Nature Preserve and Fremont Road in Los Altos Hills. We hosted our first joint Veterans Day celebration with Los Altos Hills, adopted updated city norms and procedures, supported having strong financial reserves, adopted objective standards for multifamily housing development projects, supported the formation of a theater working group, and approved a memorandum of understanding reserving a certain parking plaza as a potential site for a future community theater. Adopted an accountability policy for city council members. Adopted an ordinance that requires the business community and residents to recycle their organic waste and comply with the regulations so we can reach the state's goal of reducing organic waste by 2025. We provided increased funding to Community Services Agency and CHAP to support the services they provide to our residents. Adopted resolution acknowledging March 24th, 2021 as Equal Pay Day and resolving to ensure pay equity standards in the city government and to encourage pay equity standards throughout the city's business community. Implemented the recommendations from the Los Altos Task Force on Policing. Created a Lehigh subcommittee. Started the process to adopt a resolution in response to SB 9. Adopted an ordinance protecting the Civic Center site. Completed street and safe routes improvements on Almond Avenue. Hosted the city's first anti-bias community forum. Approved the downtown parklet program. Worked with the county, as we heard from Supervisor Simidian, to implement improvements on Foothill Expressway. Adopted a suicide prevention policy. Approved the formation of a council subcommittee to build a new police station. And as you heard earlier from Supervisor Simidian, breaking news today, we were able to work with the county to have a pop-up booster clinic at the community center on December 21st. And I'm sure we will continue to work together to have more of those for our community. Now, although we were able to accomplish a lot of things for our community We still have challenges ahead of us. COVID, of course, is still very much with us, and we need to continue to ensure that all eligible residents get vaccinated and a booster. And we also need to continue to follow the COVID mandates and safety protocols. We also need to complete the process of getting the city's financials in order so that Los Altos continues to be a financially strong city and it can provide the high level of service our residents deserve and desire. Another challenge for our community in 2022 will be the housing element update that the city is legally required to complete. The process to do so has certain legal milestones that must be met. We will need to work with the community, city staff, stakeholders, and consultants to ensure we have a compliant process. Lastly, we need to make sure that our residents are receiving accurate and complete information about city projects, the status of the projects, and actions being considered or taken by City Council. Having trust in our city government and processes is key to our continued success. And even with all those challenges I just went over for 2022, I am optimistic and excited about the state of Los Altos going forward. Our community is strong and resilient. We're very fortunate to live in a community that's rich in volunteerism, philanthropy, and community engagement. We have been able to work through so many things during a global pandemic and uncertain times. I know we'll continue to do well. On a personal note, I have enjoyed serving as your mayor. I know my mayorship is historic, and I know you're all thinking she's the first Black Los Altos mayor, and that's true, and it's been an honor. But in addition to that, I am the first Los Altos mayor to conduct all my council meetings on Zoom. As mayor, I was able to help navigate the city through different challenges and to ensure our city council was still able to get things done for our residents. I enjoyed participating in the different events from ribbon cutting ceremonies to the International Walk Day to Montclair Elementary School and hosting a virtual event for seniors. I'm also proud that I was able to represent the city at a regional level. I am the president of the Peninsula Division of the League of California Cities, second vice president for the Cities Association of Santa Clara County, and serve on the executive boards for Silicon Valley Clean Energy and the Association of Bay Area Governments. And I was selected to serve on different committees that worked on different aspects of the sixth RENA cycle, representing Los Altos proudly. I will end with special thanks to so many people who have helped to make my year as mayor rewarding. First, thanks to the city staff for their flexibility and support. I won't start naming individuals because I don't want to leave anyone out, but simply you're an amazing team. Thanks to Chief Galea, who has been a partner to council and me personally, especially this last year. I don't think Chief Galea has ever said no to me, and he would always reach out to make sure I was doing okay. In fact, I told my family that I know Chief Galea would show up to our house personally if anything were to happen. Thanks to City Attorney Houston for working through so many issues with us this past year. You are always available and willing to offer suggestions. Thanks to my colleagues on council for all your tireless work. It is evident at every single meeting how much we all care about the city. You were all willing to stay late and dig deep into issues if that's what we needed to do to get something resolved. Although our votes may not have always been unanimous, we were all engaged, respected each other, listened to each other, learned from each other, and contributed in some way to the final decision. Thank you. Thanks to the public for their patience and participation. Thanks to everyone who called in, emailed, and reached out. Your feedback and voices are what make this process work, and they're key to helping us shape our final decisions. We are a richer community because of all of you. Finally, thanks to my family. Thanks to my husband, David, and our kids, William and Sarah, for their support throughout this past year. They all knew that starting at 7 p.m. on certain Tuesdays, they needed to stay away from the room and keep our dog Max quiet. It became a running joke in our family about the lockdown that happened when Mom had council meetings. As many of you know, the family, goes through this with you every step of the way. It was a real joy being able to do the Festival of Lights parade with them as I closed out the year as mayor. So thank you all so much. Thank you for a great year, and let's keep going. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we will move to item 2B, which is the election of the mayor. And so I will entertain a motion to nominate someone as the mayor, the next mayor of Los Altos. Councilmember Meadows.
Yes, Mayor Flagger, I'll say that perhaps one last time. I would like the honor of nominating our vice mayor to be mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Meadows. We have a motion to nominate Vice Mayor Enander as the next mayor of Los Altos. Councilmember Lee Eng beat you to it, Councilmember Weinberg. Councilmember Lee Eng.
To second that motion.
So the motion is seconded by Councilmember Lee Eng. City Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Sure. Mayor Flagger,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Enander,
Yes.
Councilmember Meadows,
Yes.
Councilmember Weinberg,
Yes.
and Councilmember Liang.
Yes.
Thank you. Congratulations. The motion passes 5-0. We now have a Mayor Enander.
So she will be mayor very soon after we administer the oath. So I'll keep it going till we get there. But congratulations, Vice Mayor Enander. So next we will have the election of the vice mayor, and I will entertain a motion to nominate a vice mayor. And I see Vice Mayor Enander has her hand raised.
Mayor, it's my honor to nominate Councilmember Sally Meadows as our next vice mayor.
Thank you. We have the motion to nominate Councilmember Meadows. Do we have a second, Councilmember Weinberg?
And it's my honor to second the motion.
Seconded by Councilmember Weinberg. City Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Councilmember Liang,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Enander,
Yes.
Councilmember Meadows,
Yes.
Councilmember Weinberg,
Yes.
Mayor Flagger.
Yes.
Thank you. The motion passes 5-0. Congratulations.
Thank you. Congratulations, Councilmember Meadows.
Thank you.
So next we have item 2D, which is the administration of the oath. But I would like to give our colleagues, Councilmember Lee Eng and Councilmember Weinberg, to share any comments at this time. Who would like to go first? And you don't have to, it's an opportunity. Councilmember Weinberg.
Thank you, Mayor. Just look at my notes here. What a year this has been. And it is amazing to me that this council has already been in session for a year. In some ways, it feels like we've been together much longer, but in many ways, it feels like we've just gotten started. Madam Mayor, as you mentioned, this has been an extraordinarily challenging year for this council. COVID has kept us from meeting in person. The first half of the year was dominated by a divisive issue, and the city staff leadership has been in flux. Since I've had the honor of being elected to this council, we have had an acting city manager, an interim city manager, and a new city manager. Nevertheless, despite all of those challenges, we as a council, under your leadership, Madam Mayor, have had a lot of accomplishments that I think, for which I think that we are justifiably proud. And I have some jotted down here. I'm not going to go through them because you gave, I think, a very exhaustive list, and everything that I was going to mention, you've already mentioned. So let me just move on, Nisa, to thank you. Thank you very much for your leadership. I have learned from you. You have really been a mentor to me as a new member of the council. I have come to discover what I already knew, which is that you do what you think is in the best interest of the city of Los Altos. And that's what all of us strive to do. And I think that's what all of us do. But most importantly, as mayor, as a leader, you always try to get consensus without compromising your principles. I thank you for your integrity. You are an active listener. You allow everyone to have their say, whether it's members of the public or staff or your fellow council members. Perhaps most of all, I thank you for your sense of humor and your sense of perspective. So let me just say, Nisa, thank you very, very much for the service that you have given this council, this community, and this city as mayor. Before moving on to the new administration, I would like to echo the mayor's sentiment in thanking our staff. Our staff is incredibly hardworking, and all of the challenges that the council has faced, staff has faced with us. And all of the accomplishments that the council has reached, we have reached because of the efforts of staff. I think until one actually becomes a member of the council, it's really impossible to understand the amount of raw work, the amount of effort, and the amount of dedication that our staff gives to the city every day. So from our new city manager, Gabe England, all the way down the tree, thank you very much to everyone on staff. This council would not be a success without you. So let me just close in giving a challenge to the new administration. I challenge us, I challenge the new administration, and I challenge all of us to be accountable. Let's be accountable to ourselves, to each other, and to the community. Let's think about our agenda. Let's think about our priorities, and let's think about the way we interact with each other, with members of the public, with our employers, with businesses in downtown, with everyone that makes the city of Los Altos work. I also challenge us to find a way to get to yes. The mayor, the outgoing mayor, identified a lot of the challenges that we are going to face. All of us could identify more, and new challenges that we can't even see are going to pop up over the next year. It is so easy to say no. But let's remember that fortune favors the bold. This city was formed and incorporated by people who had the vision of our community to be something different than those around us. Let's follow in their footsteps and be a model for leadership, equity, justice, and progress. Anita, Sally, I look forward to your leadership. I look forward to working with all of my colleagues. Let's get going.
Thank you, Councilmember Weinberg. Councilmember Lee Eng, would you like to share any comments?
Yes, thank you. I agree with Councilmember Weinberg that this has been a very trying year with COVID. Mayor, I read your message from the mayor's desk and appreciate the 2 points that you had made: civility and the preservation of our city's character. I cannot emphasize how important empathy and compassion is as we continue to hold these values in high regard and encounter the many challenges we face. So I want to thank you again for your wonderful lead out the year. And moving forward, I'd like to congratulate our new Vice Mayor, Sally Meadows, as well as our new Anita Enander. So I look forward to working with all of you again in the upcoming year. So thank you all, everyone, because together we get things done. We don't do it as individuals, but we do it as we work together. So thank you all.
Thank you, Councilmember Lee Eng. Well said about getting things done together. So at this point, I will invite our city clerk to administer the oath of office. And I think she starts with the new mayor.
Yes, I would be honored to. Can I ask you to raise your right hand, please? And repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm
Sorry, I hadn't unmuted. I, Anita Enander, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I bear true faith and allegiance
that I bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of mayor upon which I'm about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of mayor upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Mayor Enander.
You.
So if you'll allow me to still continue through item E. Thank you.
Please do.
City Clerk, it's time to administer the oath to our new Vice Mayor.
And if you would please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Sally Meadows, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of Vice Mayor upon which I'm about to enter.
and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of Vice Mayor upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Vice Mayor Meadows. So at this time, I will do two things. I will present Mayor Enander with the mayor's gavel. I'll show it to everybody. And so Mayor Enander, I'll pass it to you. This is not something you need to show. The next thing I'm passing to you, I hope you'll share it with the public. So I'm giving you the gavel.
Thank you.
And then next, I will give you the mayor's medal. And so I'll pass it to you, and I hope you'll wear it proudly. Many mayors before us have worn it, and so it's truly an honor to have this medal for the year that you're serving as mayor. So here you go.
Thank you.
And with that, I just want to say congratulations to Mayor Enander, Vice Mayor Meadows. I look forward to working with both of you and Council Member Liang and Council Member Weinberg this coming year. I know we'll continue to do wonderful things for the community. Congratulations. And with that, I will turn it over to Mayor Enander. Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to thank the outgoing mayor for the graceful way in which we've managed to run the meeting tonight. The next item on our agenda is the remarks from the new vice mayor. Vice Mayor Meadows, would you like to address the council and the staff and various attendees of tonight's meeting?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Enander. Yes, so actually a lot of what I was going to say has been said, but I think I'll just state briefly how much I've appreciated this year. So first of all, let me start with our residents. So I want to state, and I know my fellow council members feel the same, it's an honor, a privilege, and a responsibility to serve our city and our residents, and I take that very seriously, that responsibility. I also thank you for your input and your support to help make Los Altos a strong and welcoming community. So then regarding, I also want to acknowledge our staff, city manager and city attorney, and thank you for all you do. I appreciate it. I know it's not easy, and I thank you for your patience during all the transitions this past year. To my fellow council members, I look forward to continuing to work effectively and constructively to accomplish what we've been elected to do for our community. Now, former Mayor Flagger, a few words for you. You've set a high bar for mayorship. You've been running efficient and coherent council meetings, even when they go till 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. You've been representing our city well on regional boards and other organizations. And you've been present in so many events throughout town all year long. And I think perhaps you've actually proven that it is possible to be two places at one time, because you seem to be everywhere. And that's good. But I really want to thank you for your good example, your constant good humor, and I've learned a lot from you. So big thanks for that. And to our incoming mayor, Mayor Anita Enander, and I'm sorry I didn't actually say that when I was nominating you, but I'll say it now, your full name. So you and I have now served together on both council and planning commission. We sometimes agree, we sometimes disagree, but regardless, we always both approach the task in front of us by being as well prepared and informed as possible. I look forward to serving with you and partnering with you, and indeed serving and partnering with our entire council. We're going to make good things happen in Los Altos and move forward with our very full agenda. So with that, it is my honor to turn the meeting over and give you a chance to talk, our new Los Altos Mayor, Mayor Enander.
Thank you so much. The advantage of going last is that I don't need to say much because so much wonderful stuff has been said already. But to begin, would you all please join me in a moment of silence to honor those who gave their lives 80 years ago at Pearl Harbor, the survivors and their families. I also want to honor a 70-year resident of Los Altos who passed away Sunday at the age of 96. Irv Martin bought a newly built home in Los Altos in 1951 after having served as a pilot in the Army Air Corps. He and his wife Lou raised 8 children who attended our schools. In 1952, Irv joined Post 558 of the American Legion downtown. He has been featured in our town crier as the longest serving member for 69 years at that post, and he was my near neighbor for almost 44 years. I spoke earlier today with Post Officer Ken Newman, who saw Irv last week. Irv's final words to Ken were, "Be sure my daughter writes a check for Toys for Tots." Irv loved Los Altos, not just as a great place to live and raise a family, but he loved the community and he cared about others. It was just like Irv to be thinking of the less fortunate in our community, even at age 96. We lost another hero this week, another member of the greatest generation who put country above politics with unwavering concern for the disadvantaged and disabled. What is asked of us who serve on this council is small compared to what these people did. We give principally our time, but we need to be as selfless as these heroes were, even as we serve you, our residents. Like Senator Dole, we need to stand above politics, to celebrate compromise and view those with whom we disagree as who they are, our neighbors and not enemies. We need to work together as we hopefully move into a world of less stress and develop a new kind of normal, whatever that turns out to be. I want to thank Supervisor Simidian for being a model, a mentor, and someone who I learned so much from in the past 3 years. I hope I can honor what he has taught me by modeling that as I move into this responsibility as mayor. I also want to thank outgoing Mayor Flieger for the outstanding example of how she put community first in the past year. The single most important task of the council is to select the city manager. She and I were chosen by our colleagues to lead the search for a new city manager. And as we worked together, we found great alignment in our views of what would be best for our community. I want to thank her for her leadership during the search, which I believe was the most important thing of the long list that she cited that we accomplished in 2021, the selection of Gabe England as our city manager. It's also traditional to thank our families. So to my husband, Mike, my daughter, Erica, and my dear sister, Laura, and brother-in-law, Tim, who I think are listening in, you know how important you are to me, and you must be just freaked out that your sister's doing this. But the people who really deserve our thanks, as others have said, are the staff, who demonstrated incredible dedication and flexibility over the past 20 months. Our police department, both sworn and civilian staff, has been exceptional under very difficult circumstances. Our maintenance staff have had the responsibility for everything from parks to sewers, with the former getting rather less use, but the latter getting rather more. There is no working from home for these folks. They are the first line of service to our community. Other departments have had to flex to provide park recreation and senior services, to handle construction applications and building inspections, to manage and direct projects that make our streets safer for all. Their contribution has been immeasurable. The support organizations of finance, HR, and IT, meanwhile, have worked to keep our staff functioning in a most uncommon environment. Our deputy city manager, John Maginot, who has been mentioned this evening, and our city clerk, Andrea Chalamengos, have played musical chairs, doing absolutely anything and everything asked of them to make sure that all the important tasks of government get covered. The services we deliver as a city absolutely depend on our staff. We owe all of them our greatest appreciation. When I ran for office, I advocated for no grand projects. It seemed to me that representing the interests of residents and helping our city run better was job one. We took a big step forward this year by hiring Mr. England. Now we need to support him and the staff as we rebuild the capability to deliver services that meet the needs and expectations of our community. We expect a lot in Los Altos, and we have to have the discipline to say yes, and Mr. Weinberg, sometimes to say no, within the scope of our constrained budget and capabilities. This will be a very challenging year. We will confront some rather inconvenient truths about our pension liabilities and infrastructure. What I can promise you is transparency, even if the truth is not pretty. I will listen to all viewpoints. I will encourage my colleagues to work together for the community and strive to lead by example. And I will support our city manager and staff as we work together to make Los Altos a great city in which to live, work, and raise a family. There's a lot to be done, but I am confident that you have before you a city council that can make it happen, a staff and staff leadership that can make it happen if we all work together, including the residents who raise your voices and let us know when we're on track and when we're off. I look forward to the coming year. Thank you. Supervisor Simidian, did you want to say something further? Not sure why your box is displayed here.
I will pass on the opportunity so I do not wear out my welcome, Madam Mayor. Thank you for your kind words and congratulations.
Thank you so much. Do we have anyone else who wants to say anything? Mr. England, did you want to say anything on behalf of staff this evening?
Thank you, Mayor. We appreciate the kind words from the mayor and council tonight, and we look forward to continue working with council on your objectives and priorities. And congratulations.
Thank you much. And there being no other business on our agenda, I will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you so much and good evening, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.